Hi guys, welcome back to 100% Mags. So this is going to be a very interesting game as Newcastle take on Aston Villa on Saturday, 12:30 kickoff, live on BT Sport as we travel down to Villa Park against an Aston Villa side who are on some really fine form at the moment. They're currently sitting on a 7-game unbeaten run, of which they have 6 wins and 1 draw in out of their last 4 games. Have taken a possible taken 19 points out of a possible 21. That is absolutely fantastic. So this is going to be a tough game to go up against Aston Villa in, but I am really looking forward to this one. Of course, the most recent visits down to Villa Park as well have been quite demoralising for us. Of course, with a trio of 2-0 defeats, preceded by back-to-back 0-0 draws down there, but we have had luck against them this season at St James's Park with a 4-0 win when Aaron Danks was their manager for hours before Unai Emery came into the job for Aston Villa. And of course, we are going into this game on Saturday down at Villa Park on a very impressive run ourselves. Of course, with it being our 3rd successive away game from St James's Park on Saturday. Travelling down there to look for the 3 points once again, hopefully. It'll be, of course, our 3rd successive victory on the road as well, if we can get it. And it would also be a 6th in total if, of course, we can get that win, as we currently sit ourselves on a 5-game unbeaten run since that loss against Manchester City at the Etihad. Now, like I say, this is an area where we really must pick up the 3 points in this game. It is an area where you would expect we to come away from this game, especially, with the way we've been playing. But like I say, Aston Villa are no slouches neither. They are currently sitting on an unbeaten run of 7 games in which 6 of them are wins. The last time we wandered down their way with 3 points was back in September 2013. Of course, when Johan Gouffran scored in a 2-1 win for Newcastle. And since then, we've gone 467 minutes without finding the net down there. So hopefully we can rectify that in the game on Saturday. But going into the game, we'll talk about the Aston Villa team before we go on to talk about the Newcastle team going into the game. But talking about the Aston Villa team, they're going to be without Jed Steer, who remains out, while there's also doubts over Leon Bailey, Boubacar Kamara, Matty Cash, and Philip Coutinho as well. And like I say, they are in fine form, winning their last 4 games and taking 19 points from a possible 21. Currently sitting on a 7-game unbeaten run, as I have said, which 6 of them are wins and 1 of them is a draw. If Villa Park this season, however, they have won each of their last 3 games without conceding a goal. So that is another thing that we do need to look at going into this game on Saturday. They have a pretty good defence in their last 3 games, but we've had a pretty good defence all season. So that bodes as a favour for us going into this game. And of course, beaten 5 times on home soil this season, Aston Villa have been by teams like West Ham, Chelsea, Liverpool, Leicester, and Arsenal. Of course, their heaviest defeat this season as well still remains to be the 4-0 reverse at St James's Park in October before Unai Emery came in 48 hours after that game. And of course, the referee for this game will be John Brooks, the Leicester-based official, but we all know that he is a Scouser. He does support Liverpool, of course, and he took charge of Newcastle's 5-1 PL home win against Brentford and a 1-0 win over Bournemouth at St James's Park earlier this season as well in the League Cup. On VAR, it's going to be Simon Hooper. And like I say, looking at the stats at Villa Park, they're not fantastic for us Newcastle United fans. A trio of 2-0 defeats. Then we've got back-to-back draws of 1-1 and 0-0s. And then, of course, the last time we won was that 13-14 season with Johan Gouffran scoring the winning goal in the game where we won 2-1. So going into it, I want to see Newcastle putting the performance we've been putting in, in these last 5 games and what we've been putting in this season, because we need to continue pushing on with the games what are left. You know, we've got some fantastic winnable games ahead of us. We're sitting at the moment in third place on 56 points with 29 games played. Aston Villa are on 30 games played. They're sitting sixth on 47 points. Man United are just behind us, of course, in fourth on 56 points with 29 games played, but we're 20 plus on goal difference ahead of Man United's 7 on goal difference. So that is a point in itself, which I have been saying quite a bit, but that is a point in itself right there. The goal difference will play a factor if, of course, we get to a point where we are still level on points and it comes to the end of the season, then that goal difference will play a factor for us. But hopefully we don't have to come to that. Hopefully we can get that points lead ahead of Man United, which I do believe we can, because looking at Man United's squad, you know, they are having some very serious injury problems right now. Marcus Rashford's out. There's some other players out as well, you know, so they're having some injury problems. That could really hurt their chances of getting that third place. In Tottenham, who are behind us by 3 points with 53 points in fifth. You know, they're a game ahead of us as well on 30 games played. So it all bodes in our favour going into this game. We'll get the 3 points here. Man United lose out on 3 points in their game, and we push 3 points further ahead of Man United, and that benefits us for what is left of the season. But let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. You know, it's not going to be an easy game. Like I say, at the end of the day, you know, Aston Villa are on an unbeaten run of 7 games, 6 of them being wins and 1 of them being a draw. But we are Newcastle United. We've been defying the odds all season. You know, we've been really kicking the criticism to the curb all season by the way we've been performing. And I think we're going to perform once again in this game on Saturday. And it's going to be another 3 points for Newcastle. So I'm going to go with a score prediction of 2-1 for Newcastle in this game. I think that would be a justified score for the way this game could end, especially since that was the scoreline the last time we won down at Villa Park. Goal scorer for me to open the scoring in the game for Newcastle, I would say Alexander Isak. And looking at our team going into the game as well before we end off this video, Almiron has returned to full training earlier than expected, but still remains to be seen whether he'll be in squad for Saturday. I think he might, to be honest, at least as a sub on the bench. The news coming out, however, on Maxi isn't good, unfortunately, with further reports saying that he faces at least a month on the sidelines with his latest hamstring issue. Hopefully it's not as bad as it sounds, but that does sound like he could be out now for the remainder of what is left of this season. And unfortunately, you know, it's something we have seen Maxi getting quite a bit. He seems to have problems with them hamstrings. You know, he needs to definitely get that problem sorted out, because he is missing out on a lot of game time, and he has lost his place in the squad as well because of that this season. Bruno continues to play on despite an ankle problem as well. So, you know, we are going to have a pretty decent squad going into this game. There's not going to be too much change, I don't think, from the last 5 games we've played. But like I say, 2-1 win for me for Newcastle to come away from Villa Park with another 3 points in the bag. Make it 6 games unbeaten in a row in the Premier League. And let's make it into them European places. Let's take this 3rd place. We deserve that for the way we've been performing this season. But till next time, remember to hit that like, share, subscribe to 100% Mags, and I'll see you all later. However, that's